Hello everyone, I'm Christina Leese.
And I'm Jen Maceda. Welcome to the Framingham Beat.
In this season of Ghosts, Goblins, and Scary Lore, Framingham's own piece of the Salem witch trial story is being shored up, literally.
The Sarah Clay's House Trust was started work to stabilize this historic treasure. The house, which gave Salem End Road its name, has been vacant for many years, condemned, and in danger of falling in. A small group of concerned citizens and neighbors have been working to save the house and hope to have it become a historic site and landmark that the entire region can be proud of.
Sarah Clay's was the sister to Mary Esty and Rebecca Nurse up in Salem in 1692. They were all jailed for witchcraft. Her two sisters were hanged. She was not, and she, a year later, was invited to come here by a man named Thomas Danforth, who was the deputy governor at the time. Interestingly enough, he was also the magistrate who put her in jail the year before. And so we think that he invited her and her extended family to come here as sort of like a restitution, because he sort of felt guilty about his part in the witch trials. They built their homes along this road, and it's actually called Salem End Road for that reason. Sarah and her husband Peter built on this property. The house that you see behind here, we believe, was not the house that they built in 1693. We believe it was built on the foundation that they built in 1693. It had gone in for about 3 generations with a Clay's family, and then it went to somebody named David Brewer, who was also part of the Clay's family. It's been uninhabited for about 20 years, and I won't go into the details, but basically it was all tangled up in a divorce, in liens, in back taxes. It wasn't foreclosed on when the last owner died, and then during the housing crisis it was bundled with other distressed properties into securities. If you've ever seen the Big Short, that's basically the story of this house. It was very complicated. They had to bring it to auction, a foreclosure auction right here, about a year to the day. We were standing right at this spot. The bank was the biggest bidder, so all the other developers couldn't match the bid. So the bank then owned it. It was foreclosed on, and they gave the house to us in December. So that gives us more freedom to do fundraising and to bring people onto the property itself, and to have a lot more ownership and, literally, about the house. We have raised about $45,000 over the last year to 2 years from lots of donors across the country, small gifts, $25, $100, but we've been able to do that, and we wanted to use that money to start the project. One of the biggest things was safety. You'll see around here that we have put up a fence so that people can't come in, and this area right behind here is the part that we were the most worried about because it was open to the elements. So we are getting some carpenters to come in and shore that up so that it sort of basically mothballs it so the rain can't come in anymore. And with every fall we get really nervous about another winter coming, and so now this will protect it for into the winter. We thought that it would be interesting to sort of around October and Halloween that we started a GoFundMe campaign through Facebook and through social media that has brought in about, I think, 52 donors at this point. We advertised it through Facebook, so about half of those donors came from people that we didn't even know, people from around the country. So that's really exciting. And so it goes around. We've posted it around in Framingham. We've gone up to Salem to post the information up there. So we're hoping that it will continue into the next week. My personal dream for the past 10 years is to make the house into a public resource. From a fundraising point of view, that was not so feasible at one point. But then we came up with the idea of making it into a nonprofit bed and breakfast where the upper floors would be rented and the rental income would sustain the house into perpetuity so that we could do programming, we could do house tours, we could have, sort of a 17th century garden, things like that.